So for the pricing part, the pricing does not only include the purchase price but the fluctuation of the international currencies. Number 2, there is a margin for the oil marketing companies. Number 3, there is a freight cost of transportation of the fuel also. And then there is a mechanism of taxation between the central and the state governments. Now the price is not been determined only purely because there is a consumption pattern, but there is supposed to be maintained the foreign exchange policy also. There is something called as balance of payment. You cannot allow your people to go on importing just because there is a price variation. You have to understand what is the impact on the macroeconomy. So that has to be understood by the esteemed panel who are sitting here. A. Number B is when the prices were skyrocketing and there was a deficit, it was paid by the other taxpayers. Now when the prices are been balanced, naturally some part will go to the pool which was already been created. Number 3, where the petrol prices go up, when the government subsidizes it, when the petrol prices goes down, it should be little bit where the government can benefit out of that as a revenue. Now who pays this revenue is the person who uses it. Why is it been done? Because this is a part of the mechanism of revenue. Okay, number 1, somebody raised the issue of what is the price in the other South Asia countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan. I would suggest please see their law and order also. Revenues are used for multiple purposes. That has been used also for using for the PDS of the poor people. It is not that you take out the money from petrol and take it home of the ministers. It has been used for the general budgets, right? So if you want to compare it with the other economies, please compare it with the rational economies which we like to become.
Which are these rational economies?
Name them. Economies which are failing states or terrorist states. So please do not compare that. Number 1. Number 2, let me complete now. I've been hearing it very patiently. So let me complete. Number 2 part, the pricing mechanism also has component of commissions for the marketing companies, also the dealers. Okay, number 3 part, when you pay out money as a foreign exchange, you have to be very well careful about that. Otherwise, you lose the entire country's kitty for that. Number 4, when the upper class or the lower middle class pays it, I also pay because I come from the lower middle class. But at the same time, there is a deprived class which has to be maintained by the revenues of the government by giving subsidies and direct benefits to them, which has to be maintained like that. The entire, this is what my friend Sanjay was telling about, the 10 years of UPI has created such a big pool where we have to deficit that. And how do you do that? You do maintain that. If I bring down the cost right now and tomorrow the prices go up, how will you subsidize that? So you'll have to think very rationally about it. It's not about my money or your money.
Can you tell me that how much was the deficit? How much was the deficit on account of this?
No, I want to
so
first
we'll have to all welcome this particular thought. And I'm very bullish about it. You cannot boom it down.
First question, Vinit Goenka, I understand what you're saying. First point you made was very good. You said do not compare us to countries with poor law and order. Please tell me which countries can we compare us to?
I have a paper if a cameraman can focus on this. How much? 7335. What is the percentage of fuel import? We are importing fuel for all these decades. How do we are just 70% of the total produce total consumption has been imported. Do you really want our country to suffer?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. Vinit Goenka, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. Your first point was do not compare us to countries that are unimpressive. Compare us to countries that are impressive. So tell me.